Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Fort Erie Racetrack here on Tuesday. It's the 12th of September 2023. Gonna look at the 10th race from Fort Erie, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. Let's look at this 10th race from Fort Erie, which is the second leg of the Canadian Triple Crown. It is the Prince of Wales Stakes. It's going for a $400,000 purse race for 3-year-olds here, Canadian breds. We have a field of 12 Ontario breds going the distance of ground here of 1,900 meters, if you want to go by that, or the distance of ground of 1 mile 3/16 on the Fort Erie main dirt course. 1,900 meters, 1 mile 3/16. And I show the diagram. It just gives me a second to look down my notes. Just bear with me. I think the Canadian Triple Crown is quite cool. You have the first leg on Tapeta, second leg on dirt, third leg, the final leg, the Breeder Stakes on turf. So it's it's very cool. My top selection, I'm gonna go with the 10 horse Velocitor. I'm gonna go 10-8-4-3 in the superfecta. 10-8-4-3 super. Top selection 10 horse Velocitor. This 3-year-old gelding by More Spirit. Kevin Attard trains. Justin Stein gets to mount. The horse's most recent appearance came 20th of August at Woodbine, 1.25 miles in the King's Plate, and the horse finished fourth by 7 lengths that day. And the horse, he stalked mostly around the race course. He was a little bit wide, but he needed something more, but I didn't think it was a half bad race for him. Paramount Prince really freaked that day, but this horse at 71-1, he got around the race course well. You're not going to see that price today, but I think sitting closer from wide poster, going a longer trip again, I think he's in a good spot to get a good trip and get a winning paycheck. Again, in the plate trial at Woodbine over the mile 8th, 23rd July, I didn't think he ran half bad. He finished fourth by 5.5 lengths. He stalked that day. The slightly faster horses overtook him late, but he didn't completely weaken out of it. He showed potential there. And then probably the race you could throw out was the Marine Stakes at Woodbine, 1/16, 1st of July. He finished 8th by 9.25 lengths that day. He was very rambunctious. He stalked and then completely crumbled. It wasn't his day to win. And then the King Curry at Woodbine, 7 furlongs in mid-May. Off the bench, he finished 7th by 6.25 lengths. He didn't get out of the gate so clearly. He was wide and just completely hit the wall that day. His 2-year-old form wasn't bad at all. He won the Coronation Futurity from a stupidly wide poster in November on the Tapeta at Woodbine. Prior to that, won a Optional 75 sprinting at Woodbine. And then the Victoria Stakes as a 2-year-old. He had a bit of a trouble trip there. But he's definitely run, races fast enough to win here. I'm going to use him on the ticket. You can't throw out the King's Plate winner, the 8-horse Paramount Prince for Patrick Husbands and Mark Cassey in the King's Plate. He ran a terrific race from wide poster on the front end, and he took off clear, 93 bar. That was quite impressive. Biggest question today, can he handle the dirt? That's going to be the big one. But he's been training on it at on the train track at Woodbine, which is dirt, half mile, 49.3, 13th best workout, 23. But that's a workout. We'll have to see with the dirt getting back in his face today. But he has a lot of forwardly pace, so maybe he get around that. He won the King's Plate last time out. He won the plate trial quite nicely in the front end. The biggest question is they haven't been, when he's been routing, they haven't been going after him on the front end. They've let him get his own way. Will that change today? Will somebody in this race try to challenge him up front? That's going to be the biggest question, but he has enough forwardly pace to win here. I would use him on the ticket. Even the 4-horse Stanley House, wouldn't surprise me if he gets a good trip. He moved a little bit in the King's Plate last time out, but he had a bit of a trouble trip on that inside poster. He swung out wide and late, but from the rail with 16 other horses on the outside of you, he had his a lot of trouble there. Prior to the plate trial, he finished 6 by 7.25 lengths, again way out of it early on, but he was gaining that day, and then won an allowance race at Woodbine and the Tapeta quite nicely in mid-June. Getting blinkers on, maybe getting a lower forwardly pace, which I don't think should be half bad. A great workout since the last race. I'll give him a shot here in the slate pick 4. He could definitely win on the ticket. But to recount my selection for the 10th from Fort Erie, it's the Prince of Wales. Going to take the 10-horse Velocitor. Give kudos to the 8-horse Paramount Prince and the 4-horse Stanley House. 10-8-4-3 super, 10-8-4 in your multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.